All right. Hello and welcome to the stream. Um, sorry, I got work stuff as soon as I start the stream. Of course, I get work emails. Okay, so let us get this going here, shall we? All right. Start our sanity timer. Try for 15 minutes this time. All right. I think we're ready to play here. Oh, and of course people leave the table. May or may not actually be able to get to play, but that's all right. Eight, seven. Do we call that? Oh wow. 2, 3, 4. So three possible. No, two possible straight draws. Ace five, 5, 6. Possible straights. Also possible flushes. So let's see what these guys have. Oh. So hopefully everybody's day is going all right. We are playing some 1 cent, 2 cent today to try to get back our another build up a $20 buy-in for ignition again. This guy bets here, and I think we let it go with the 2 king, even from the button. Not quite good enough. He's definitely seems to be just trying to steal somebody's 3-betting every single round. Oh no, more work. More work stuff. See if I can. Oh, here we go. Not my problem. I'm on call for work, so I got to respond to stuff when I get questions. But I think this latest question is my domain, so somebody else should get it. I should also move my dinosaur there. He's like right in the corner there. 2 jack would have probably not done too great on this board. So we get to wait for these guys to do their thing. Looks like everybody's new. I don't have any notes on any of these players, so just assume they're decent and play from there. We do get a queen king on the cutoff, so that's playable. 3. And we get a re-raised. Well, queen king off says we call. And we get the top pair. Now, he's the aggressor, so I think we check to him. I mean, maybe he has ace king here? Or problem is if he has pair of aces. I think we call. That 4 probably doesn't improve him very much, so see if he just wants to. He's probably just going to triple barrel this, I imagine. He thinks he's winning. I don't know. I think he's got it. So he either he has two aces, in which case he has this beat. He has ace jack. So he had middle pair and he went all in with middle pair. Just because he had an ace. He was just hoping he'd get an ace, I guess. That's all. Okay. We'll take your money, guy. I don't know what else to say. Okay, sorry, I'm getting work stuff here. All right. So technically, the optimum 3-bet is 2.5 big blinds. Whoa. Well, our queens are not looking so great, honestly. We're out of position. I think we're in small blind are, but he checks. Is that like king jack or something? I mean, any ace beats us, any 10 beats us. Everything else we're beating. It's a small pot, so I'm not too worried. And he min bets, so we'll call the min bet. Whoa! Whoa! I mean, that means it's more likely he doesn't have an ace. So the pot is so small. I think we have him beat unless he has an ace or a 10. No, he doesn't. Weird. It was a weird pot. Weird hand. Okay. So, king 10. Yeah, oh well. So button versus low jack. I think we can call that. Then, that might have been too loose of a call. We have a draw, but I'm not super happy about it. The ace would have us beat, so we have the second nut flush draw basically, and he checks. We're in position. Probably hits our range a little better. We'll do like a third pot bet. And he lets us take it. Okay. Maybe there's something to this range thing. I don't know. I hear people talking about it. No, I am on my poker theory book. I just kind of finished the section of in position c betting, but the next section is like out of position c betting, which I haven't gotten to yet. And I'm realizing is this like whole big section, that whole big part of like the second half of a very critical chapter that I am quite unaware of at this moment. So, speaking of which, I should probably get my. So this is the book I'm reading through, Modern Poker Theory. I am on C-Bet chapter. And okay, we get ace-3 in the hijack seat. I think we bet that. I should adjust my formulas here to our new amounts. Okay, so we hit top pair. We are in a three-way pot though. I think we can still see bet. I should look at my notes to see. Oh, so, and then this is my notebook. I got notes about poker. And yeah, just, studying up. Holy crap. All right. So another ace. I think we just keep c-betting here. See what happens. I mean, we c-bet previously. I don't think... Maybe he thinks we're bluffing the ace. It's possible he has a jack. So we upgraded to a house. He might have a weaker house if he has the jack. So I think we essentially have the nuts here, right? Yeah, we do. I'm just going to keep c-betting and see what he does. He called me before, he should call me again, honestly. Do we have the nuts? I guess 2 jacks would be a quad, so that would beat me. Do you have 2 jacks? No. Okay. Thanks, buddy. Holy cow. Alright, we're gonna keep playing hands. I'm sure they must be tilted from my play so far. I've won like 3 hands in a row or something like that. They must be pretty ticked. Yeah, I've only played 10 hands so far, and I've won 4 out of the last 10 hands. Finally, something that doesn't hit me. Okay, interesting. He checked to me, I checked through. He bets, makes pretty big 80% pot bet or something like that. I think we can let it go. Now that we're deep stacked, I think we can be a little bit more conservative. All right. Making sure my audio looks okay. More RAC on the Discord, Spotify, pretty good. Another Tegan and Sarah mix, actually. All right. We stepped out of the way here. We had E2 offsuit in the low jack. So we'll just watch what these guys do. And they are checking through. These guys, I guess they haven't read the C-bet chapter yet. Otherwise, they'd be doing something a little more reasonable on these C-bets. Okay, interesting. Pair of threes. This guy goes all in because he's tilted, so we'll get out of his way. Maybe this guy's gonna call. Oh, Mr. SpongeBob. Nope. I think Mr. Seagreen is trying to get rid of his money. Puts us in an annoying position, especially if he's in big blind right now, because he's probably just going to raise whatever anybody puts up. I'll let that go. Trying to figure out if that was the right move or not. I mean, hijack versus 3-bet. Okay, maybe the other guy's not tilted. I don't know. Okay. So, lots of people get my attention. Work. Okay. Let that go. I gotta skip. Alright. Oh. Oh, that's right. My Spotify capture is broken. Fix that later. A bunch of my stream stuff got broken, which is a bummer. Graph is broken. Spotify is broken. I'll try working on it on the weekend, I think. Wait here for the next hand to go. See what happens. We're doubled our buy-in, which is pretty nice. Now we are deep stacked. I'm actually kind of debating if we want to just go back to normal stack here. Just quit the table and rejoin it. That might have to be what we do. Yes, totally tilted. All right. Let's close the table and join another one. And one that be a little bit more reasonable here. 1 second. Oh man, I gotten out. All the tables are now have a giant wait list. AJ Hart. Everything is broken. I am not sure why. I think I don't think I fully tested my code for my graph. So when I changed from the ignition to the America's Card Room, the different poker program, I think that's what broke that. I'm not sure why my Spotify capture is broken though. Okay, so let's see. Can we get into the room here? I'm gonna try to get into a poker table. Oh, this is the only one with. I really don't want to join a 9-seat table. Nope. Boom, we got it. There's me. Are you going to pick an avatar? I should. I didn't think about that. Not sure why. Now it's like not going on here. Okay. Well, I like the big green dino in the background. Yep, is Mr. T-Rex there from my dinosaur comics. Okay, here we go. Got it working. Stream is only partially broken. Now we got a fish and SpongeBob and an alien and a dog for avatars. I guess we can pick an avatar here. I don't know what we want to do. How is life? Not too bad. Better than earlier. I'm at least got a full night's sleep. That's always nice. And what else has been going on? Megan is still feeling a little nauseous, so just taking care of her and playing poker and taking it easy. I got her food and beds today. Yeah, I don't know. It's sunny out, so or it's nice that the weather's actually starting to get like right now in Portland, it's like every other day is rainy instead of every day. So that's always nice when I can go outside and actually like I went bike riding outside for the first time since fall, probably last summer or fall. Okay, got a card here. Play play the play a little poker here. We're in big blind. But everybody's folding. Who wants to play with us? This guy 3-bet. So I think he 2-bet, so I think we 3-bet. See what he does. He lets us have it. Okay. We'll take his money. And we'll move on to the next. You gotta keep people honest. They raise it, but sometimes they don't actually have it. Like this guy, I don't think he has it right now. I think he's tilted because I ticked him off. He is. We've actually seen him before. Hui 36. We have seen 78 hands from him in the past. So we have a rough idea of some of his habits. He does like to raise pre-flop about 13% of the time, 14% now. Okay, so yeah, ace-3 offsuit's not quite good enough even. Well, I guess I was button. No, that's still technically not in my range. Yeah, I put the dyno back in there because I was on a bunch of business calls today, and so it's like gotta have the dyno in the right spot for the business calls for sure. But nobody commented on it because this is the Zoom. This is the same camera I use for Zoom, the same position. So this is what everybody looks at when they're zooming with me at work. So for anybody watching, we are trying to build up our bankroll back up to get a $20 out of this poker room and switch it back to ignition. We went busto on ignition, lost our $20. I had originally put in $20 on 2 different sites, so this is the second site. I like ignition better, but we'll play this until we kind of make up that money, and then we'll double up our money here and then split it between the two. That's the goal. So we are. I should have a progress bar on our goal, but right now we are up $4. So we just need to make another $16, and then we can switch our cash over. All right. We did change our avatar for Jhart. Now a robot. I didn't ask Jhart for advice. I just switched it. Okay. King Queen suited in the big blind, facing a raise from small blind. So King Queen suited says we 3-bet it. See what he does. No, he lets us have it. The dyno was underappreciated. I agree. Yeah, I felt a little bad he wasn't in camera for a while. He's very soft and cuddly. I used him as a pillow earlier this week. Okay. No, that is not a playable hand. The dino is pretty awesome. I think what I should do is move him from this side to that side, because then I'm not like constantly getting in the way of him as I move. If I switch him over there, right there, then he'll kind of always be in the frame. Should I just do that right now? I'm just gonna do that right now. Oh yeah, way better. Now he's like over my shoulder just watching you. All right. Well, we didn't miss anything on the poker, so that's all right. We get to fold another hand and wait. I was playing two-handed earlier today and I lost half a buy-in. Put the dino on your head. Ooh, that's a good idea. Well, I say good idea in that it is a funny idea that I will not do. Mainly because I think that would be a little hard to like keep it balanced on, and then I'd be concentrating on keeping the dino on my head while I'm trying to play poker, and that would be a little disappointing. All right. New table slash site. Yeah, it's yeah, so basically I when I very first bought in on poker, I bought in on two different sites, Ignition and America's Card Room. And I liked Ignition better, but I went broke on Ignition. I lost my buy-in. So the goal is to double my buy-in here and then switch it back, like split it between the two so that I can keep playing Ignition. So far we're this text at the bottom I need to update. It says 21, but I'm actually now at about 24. And I should change the buy-ins too. Theoretically, I guess technically I bought in for $20 at two different sites. That's right. Ooh, got a big hand here. Really, it's me, went all in. E Marsh called. And straight draw versus Ace King versus King 10. Boom. Ace King knocked out King 10. Now this table is mostly empty, which is kind of annoying. I don't particularly like playing shorthanded. We will raise that and see what happens. Hopefully other people join our table soon. Oh, 4-3. Nope, don't. Oof. Alright, let's see what these guys are gonna do. Another big hand, maybe? 6, 9, 10 of clubs. So 10 high on the board is interesting. The fact that it's monotone makes it a little dangerous. Ooh, okay. Boom. Interesting. I wonder if that guy had the clubs. And now it's just me and this other guy. So I don't know. Do we just let it go? Change tables here? Okay, this guy's sitting out too, so gotta find a new room. Let's see if we can find something here. Catch P. Served. Uh, hmm. Well. I guess we just have to wait. That's annoying. Makes for kind of a boring stream if I can't play poker. Let me here. Unfilter full tables. Sort by waitlist. And put ourselves on some waitlist. Shall we? Oh, here we go. Okay. Found a table. Let me get it going. OBS is not seeing it. There we go. Okay. Phew. Crisis averted. We will be able to play a little bit more poker. We'll stick with our sanity timer. I think the sanity timer has been serving me pretty well. We will check it. So sanity timer says 19 minutes left. Nine doesn't do much for us. Queens on the board. This guy checks. Back. See a 10. So Jack would get us a straight. As well bet it, just see what he does. Huh, he lets us have it. Okay. Okay. 4 queen, not very good to play. We are basically never calling with queen 4 off. Unless we just... Hope your day went well, 6'4 Ninja. Jay Hart and I were chatting earlier. Seemed like a pretty good day for me. Pretty quiet at work, so that's always good. 9-5 as a small line facing... No, facing a 2-bet. Um, 7-8 offsuit on the button. No. Not in our range. Sorry, guys. Wait for something that we can play here. This is not going to be it. So other streamers will play 2 tables or 3 tables or even 4 tables at once, and then they'll just like hotkey each game and switch to whatever table's active, which is pretty impressive. It's a good Thursday. You have a washer and dryer now. Nice. Oh, it is so nice to have a washer and dryer in your house. Oh my gosh. Our first house in Slow, our apartment in Slow, didn't have a washer dryer. We had to go to the laundromat down the street. And yeah, not fun. It's a small thing that you don't really like. I don't know. When I grew up in my house, I just kind of always took the washer and dryer for granted and did not realize how good I had it. All right, we'll play this. Jack offsuit. It's actually, well, yeah. Okay, that's in the low jack range. See if anybody... Seems like we've been getting a lot of folds to our raises. I think everybody's a little scared on this table. So we should probably keep that in mind when we're playing. Okay. This guy's not scared. We are in position, but a pretty crappy hand. I think we'll call. See what we get. Oh, what? So he should theoretically be c-betting here, in which case it is a half pot bet. It's a paired board. I don't have really any straight draws, so I think we'll just let it go. That was a little bit of a bummer, but thankfully only 10 big blinds. All right, Jack 10 offsuit in the big blind, but facing a raise from the button. We'll call. Again, no help on the flop. So I think we check fold it. Okay. We'll see if Darth Moolah. Oh, he okay. Okay. Still we have no, yeah, 8 9 10 jack still doesn't get us a straight, so no straight, no flush. And there's one overcard right now. There is a possible flush on the board. I don't think there's any possible straights out there though. 9 10 still wouldn't get it with the jack. Facing half pot bet. We just let it go, even though this is three-way. I don't just have a jack and a 10. Yeah, glad we got out of there. 8 9 10 jack. Yeah, still wouldn't have got us a straight. So I expect in a three-way pot you want to be a bit like in a multi-way pot. Generally, you need to be more conservative, especially with your. I mean, this is essentially a weak hand, I'd say. Weaker trash hand. Let's see. So there's actually like definitions of these things, like what a trash hand, trash, weak, good, and strong are the categories of hands that you can have. And each one has a pretty like specific definition. So a weak hand would have stuff like an open-ended straight draw or an ace high or even king high or a gut shot straight draw. So gut shot straight draw means there's only one card that'll give you the straight. An open-ended straight draw means there's two cards that could give you a straight because it's like either end of the straight. So those are all categorized as weak hands. Below that would be a trash hand. We had a trash hand. And I don't think, but that was not really a good. Now, what's interesting, and I think that I need to work on, is a big leak for me, is that even with trash hands, the book theory says you should occasionally be betting trash hands just to scare out your opponents. Okay, let's call it three-way. Nope. So this would be like a good hand as opposed to a weak hand because we have essentially second pair here. So we're in position, and so I think we c-bet it. Now 6 is a bit, so like 4.5. Now it is a three-way pot, so and we got one fold. Let's see if we can get a second fold. So certainly middle pair is marginal, not super strong, but on a rainbow board, yeah, it okay, we got it. We got it. We used theory to win the game. Okay. Honestly, I don't think I normally would have betted there just like based on my gut. So what that means is that I kind of, need to learn a little bit. Still keep studying because what my gut tells me does not match up to theory. Which means need to keep learning. Okay, so we get a call. So now we are out of position here. We get two calls. Ooh. Now this is a two-tone board, ace high. Yeah, we'll check to the in position. I guess I could have c-bet there, but yeah, we'll let the in position kind of take action there. And I don't feel too bad about letting this go. We basically just have 2 outs, and with 3 people in the pot, it's pretty likely he has an ace. There's also the 2 diamonds on the board, so he has flush draw that we wouldn't have much help on. Okay, ace 10 is something we would normally bet here, so we'll do that. Good news is now we are in position against small blind and big blind, but they're just going to let us have it. Great. 9-4 is not much help, though. Oh, pair of jacks in the small blind. Okay. This is a little precarious. Jacks. Not the greatest. So facing a raise from the cutoff, I think we're gonna re-raise them here with jacks. Let's see how it goes. Normally we would be 3-betting about 17 cents here, but instead we're just going to do 3 times his bet, so that would be 6. You gonna let us have it? He is. Okay. I mean, that's actually pretty optimal for pocket jacks. Pocket jacks like don't survive a lot with like, I mean, basically any ace, king, queen, right? Like out there makes you pretty scared with pocket jacks. So taking it down pre-flop, kind of ideal. That spot, I think. You know, we don't make a lot of money, but we scare them away and pick up a little bit of money and keep fighting on other pots, I guess. All right, so let's I think one of the things I need to start working on is kind of memorizing a lot of these c-bet stuff here. So in this case, you know, c-betting by structure is kind of what I've part of what I've been learning here. So in this case, you know, it was two-tone. Two-tone means there's 2 of the same suit. Two-tone. Oh, sorry. So two-tone. So suits are texture. Structure is whether it's like trips, paired, or unpaired. Okay. King, queen, suited. Not bad. We will raise it. I think even facing a yeah, facing a 2-bet, we would still raise it again. But in this case, we 2-bet it because we're the second bet. The big blind is the first bet. And we get top pair, but miss the suits, and it's a monotone board, which isn't great. I think we will 3-bet it, or sorry, c-bet it. Interesting. I think we check for pot control, which means that we don't want the pot to be very big because we're not looking great here with just top pair. And the ace comes. So we could have a flush. He's betting it. Possibly had an ace and he just decided to call on the flush. All right, let's call it and see what he has. Ace something? Yeah, ace 2. We got 2 pair. See what he had here. Oh, so he had 2 hearts as well. So he missed the flush, but he called hoping to get an ace, which he got on the river, so. I wonder if we had bet on the turn, you think he would have folded? Maybe. I think some of these people just never fold. Part of the risk of playing at some of these stakes is that no matter what you do, they just want to gamble. But they'll just keep calling, and they don't care if they. I was on the way I lost my last $3 on Ignition was that I was in this room and this guy was just on full on tilt, and it was a spectacle. Like, he was literally going all in every single hand, and probably 80% of the hands he was losing, and he would just rebuy in, go all in, rebuy in, go all in, rebuy in. And finally I was like, well, he's kind of ruining the game for me, but instead of leaving the table, which I should have done, I was like, okay, this is a decent hand. I'll play with him. And then sure enough, I lost with, and like he had like something ridiculous. He had 2 numbers unsuited. I don't even remember what they were, but I lost with 2 Broadway cards. That was a little annoying. Probably should. It was just late at night. I think I just should have gotten out. I should have switched tables or something. But that's all right. Okay. There's nothing here for either. I have queen high on 2 pair. Do I get it? He gets it. Interesting. He had pocket 8s. Okay. All right. We have 3 minutes left on our sanity timer. I feel like that's appropriate as we've been kind of losing the last couple of hands here, fading a little bit. So we'll stick with the 3-minute sanity timer and then head out. I think maybe we'll take a look at 1 or 2 hands in the analysis tools to see if we can glean any information out of them. All right, so 10Q77 paired board. Our SpongeBob person bets half pot and gets fold. SpongeBob our nemesis here. I think he's taken the most money from us, so I think that makes him our nemesis. Oh, I think the elf also, I think, took a bunch of our money. Definitely 100% positive that these images are not authorized. Don't think Nickelodeon and Universal and Lucasfilm authorized the use of these images. Take a wild guess. All right. I'm actually kind of surprised they get away with it, honestly. All right, 1 minute left on our sanity timer. No good hands. So maybe we just gonna end it on a little bit of a low note. That's all right. 25 big blinds isn't bad considering we were up 100 big blinds earlier. No, I think we all there. All right, now we got a playable hand. Okay. We 3-bet this guy. Gonna stick in. He 4-bets us. We get nothing. I mean, it doesn't hit him very well either, but I'm sure he's going to c-bet it, and then the question is, do we stay in? We have a backdoor flush draw. He only bets third pot. Yeah. Okay. Our backdoor flush draw is still live. We need one more spade, and then we have the nut flush. Whether or not we'll get it is another story. Let's just try to scare this guy off. See what he does. Oh, he had pocket aces. Holy cow. All right, guy. Well done. Well done, good sir. Alrighty. I think we're going to call it. That is our sanity timer. That's our last hand of the day. We can analyze it. Let's see here. Okay. Hold the hand. Whoa. Okay, so this is our hand. Warrior man had pocket aces. Holy cow. So I was at quite the disadvantage. Had no idea. He raised, I re-raised, and then he 4-bet it. I called. Let's take a look at what the stats say about 3-betting or 4-betting from that. So I'm kind of curious. So, based on my ignition data, now he was in the button position. So, dealer raised 3 or 4-bet. So this is the range that we're looking at for somebody in that opponent's position. So let's put this in our flop tool. We actually have it here. Raise 3 or 4-bet button. So that's the range we were playing against. The range, and then we had ace 10 spades. We were not winning. So maybe that's just, I mean, I think that was mistake number 1, is realizing that ace 10 of spades is pretty far behind when facing a, was that a 3-bet or a 4-bet? So he 2-bet, I 3-bet, he 4-bet. So I was facing a 4-bet. I think actually my poker theory book actually has a thing on that. So let's see what the poker theory book says I should have done there. So I was small blind versus button versus 4-bet, call ace 9 suited plus. Okay. So the book says I did the right thing. I don't feel great about it based on this data. But we called, And then the flop came 4-7-2. 4 hearts, 7 spades, 2 clubs. 4 hearts, 7 spades, 2 clubs. Oops. 4 hearts, 7 spades, 2 clubs. So our equity went down. And I think that's also where I was mistaken. I thought that because it wouldn't hit his range as a 4-bet, I figured his range was so tight that there's no way that it helps him with such a low board. But I guess he has a lot of like ace numbers, and ace just has a lot of power there. So he has over pairs and over cards. He doesn't really have, and then he has like some flush draws. But the thing is that all of those overcards are probably better than my 10, right? Because he probably, like, all those overcards are like jacks, queens, kings, aces. So even though I have an ace, he probably has 2 overcards rather than to my 1. Probably puts me at a pretty big disadvantage here. Well, as we can see, 34% equity. So he c-bets, and I call. And so the odds he was giving me, he did 26 cents into 82 cents, so he was giving me 19% pot odds. I had 34% equity, so theoretically a okay call, but honestly it doesn't really feel like it very much. Let's see here. So I call. It's an 8 of spades. My equity goes up because now he has less chance of a set here. The ace-8 and the 8-8 become a lot less likely. But there's still all the 9s, 10s, queens, mainly kings, queens, and jacks that he has here that have me all beat. 9-10 would have a straight draw here. Well, I didn't really spot. And then he c-bets me again, giving me decent pot odds, 22%, my 41% equity here, but so, and then I re-raise based on the flush draw. I mean, that's another big mistake here. I definitely should not have re-raised. I think a call at most. Considering my equity in this range here, 41%. I mean, I guess I have the flush draw, but that's really about it. Okay. And then 9 of clubs. There's definitely like 10 jack. I didn't spot the straight at all. I think that was mistake number 1. But also just like, I don't know. I feel bad that I didn't spot the aces. But at that point I was all in, so it didn't really matter. Oh, so I think that's what happened, is that I thought that maybe he was going on a draw. So when I re-raised here, I was just going all in because I was pretty low stacked compared to him anyways. I only had 82 cents. And he was betting me 53 cents. I would have had less than that bet next time anyways. So I was thinking maybe he's behind with like ace king, ace queen. Yeah, so without the 9 here, 50% of the time he has no made hand. But I guess what I should have done is, on the flop, he bet. I probably should have assumed he at least had top pair or some sort of draw here. So if I filter on that, if I say that he's not betting without at least like weak pair. My equity goes down to 25%. And then when he bets me, he's giving me 22% pot odds, so it's almost break even at that point. Close to break even, at which point I probably should have just gotten out of there. That was with the 8. Yeah. Yep. Okay, well, that was interesting. I just made a mistake there at the end, but that's okay. This is start insanity timer. I should have just did it a little less. I think I was just... It's kind of funny. I think I noticed that I perform a lot... Like, my stream graph usually looks like this. Up, crash. And I think what's happening is that I might actually be changing my behavior based on the sanity timer. Like, seeing it click down, like 1 minute left, 2 minutes left. I start to get a little more wild. I mean, ace 10 of spades, I think... Let's take a look at our charts here. Versus... Oh, these are all versus 3 bets, not versus... So I was in the small blind, and I was facing the button with ace 10 of spades. So if it was a 3 bet, this would be... I would follow this, but these don't say versus 4 bet. I guess based on the notes, it said ace 9 spades plus to call with from... Because I think the reason is that a button... Well, I think the thought is, according to the book, there's a fair amount that's going to be 4 betting. But in reality, at these small stakes, there's probably not very much that's actually 4 betting. So these are, this was the range that's 4 betting. At least according to my, this is 3 or 4 betting. So if we actually look and try to convert this formula, and do it against just a 4 bet, see what it says. Dealer data, raise 4 bet is column L. So if we change this to this is kind of the scaled. It's basically only like, I've only seen people 4 bet from the button with basically like 5 different cards. Either aces, jacks, queens, aces, and ace jack, and ace queen offsuit. I wonder if I punch this in. Now this is different. So this, unfortunately, I can't punch this in. But if we punch this in here, if we just do it manually, let's just do that. And let's pretend like it is like this. Let's pretend that's the 4 bet range. And then we have ace 10 spades. So I just punched in the math based on 4 bets only, so that it still goes off, but you cannot see it start to dwindle. Oh, maybe hide the sanity timer. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe just, hide it so it beeps. And then that way I play normally and then just stop when it beeps. That's a good idea. I like that. But yeah, it looks like the math is even worse when I punch in just what I've, like, my observations based on actual, or my my actual observations for just 4 bets from the button position says that I was losing pretty hard with ace-10 spades. So I think it's just, and I think what that comes down to is that, you know, people at low stakes are not playing optimal poker, so they're not like, they're 4-betting a lot tighter range than the pros would, which means that we should probably tighten up in response rather than, you know, if we have a response range that corresponds to the pros range, that means that we're calling a lot wider than we should be. So, more lessons learned. All right, I'm gonna